What's up, guys? New case has dropped. It dropped while I was streaming, so I just have jumped straight in. I did try and record this before, didn't quite work out, so I've seen the first 3 skins, and I already have sort of opinions about them, so I'm going to go through them really quickly, and then past the first 3 skins, I haven't seen them yet, so I'm not sure what to expect. It's tradition on my YouTube channel, whenever a new case comes out, to go through all of them. Chat's here. Say hi, chat. Chat, say hi, YouTube. That didn't make any sense. Whatever, who gives a shit? And yeah, let's just get straight into this one, shall we? So the SG I found pretty mediocre. I don't use the gun. It reminds me a little bit of those gloves with the spiky knuckles. I think they're called Bloodhound gloves or whatever they are. It looks a little bit edgy. I mean, the textures on it's not too bad. The sculpt kind of feels a little bit out of place though, as it's super dull, and the rest of the skin is pretty shiny. So I wouldn't use this skin myself. It's pretty meh. It's whatever. On to the next one that I saw was the clear polymer. We were just discussing in chat before that this either is really, really good or really, really bad. And it basically comes down to whether you see the bullets in the magazine like dwindle as your magazine runs dry and depletes. If it does, this is really, really cool and actually great news for the rest of the skins in Counter-Strike for the upcoming cases. This is something that could be put and implemented a little bit more. However, myself and chat thought it's probably not going to be the case, and in which case the color scheme for this sucks. It looks really scuffed, even in factory new. It's not a great skin. But if the bullets do disappear and you start to see like 2 or 3 bullets left when the magazine's nearly empty, that would be really, really cool. Don't see it happening though. So that's a pass. Then we saw the M249. Don't really have an opinion on this. It's never a gun that I'm going to use, let's be honest. No one uses the M249. It looks pretty sleek, I guess. Reminds me a little bit of RoboCop. But it's just whatever. It's an M249. So now we're all caught up. Those are the 3 skins that I saw before. And now I'm looking at skins that I have not seen so far. CZ. Cicatus. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's actually not too bad. I mean, the color scheme is interesting. It's different. There's nothing else that's really like this in the game, which is always a positive. I think the more I look at it, the more it grows on me, but it's just the fact that the CZ is not really a gun I'm using at the moment. Tech 9 on T side and 5.7 on the CT side. There's better skins than this in the game. I will say, though, it looks pretty full on skin wise, like it's not got tons of wear and tear, which is always definitely a plus by its name. I don't know, it's all right. If I use the CZ, maybe it's an okay skin. Sombra, yeah, I think it's all right. It's not blowing me away, but it's definitely not bad. And for a blue rarity, these will be pretty cheap once the case has been out for a while. So yeah, not too shabby. UMP Oscillator. I just don't really like the UMP that much. Me and the UMP have never had a great relationship in CS. I'm terrible with it. This skin just looks basic. These colors are alright, I guess. But it doesn't really do anything for me personally. I don't really care. And I think if I was to go for a UMP, there are tons of other skins that I would prioritize over this one, that's for sure. So this would also be a skip. So far, the case has been disappointing, to be honest. It's going to need something pretty big. We have an R8 Junkyard. I don't think the skin looks good. It's for a gun that I'm never going to use. And if I did, there's some way better skins out there than this. This is a hard pass. This might actually be the worst skin in the case so far. Yeah, this is just... yeah, this is actually junk. So I'm skipping on that one for sure. Nova. Windblown. Oh, mate, this case is sucking hard so far. What the f... who even uses a Nova? Who even cares about a Nova? And even then it's scuffed. There's like tons of missing paint on it. Nah, this is a hard pass. P250 Cyber Shell. I think this looks alright, actually. This is growing on me the more I look at it. I like the colors. I like the textures on it. I think this is the best skin in the case so far. I don't think I'd necessarily use it, but I could understand if people did. For me, this is a good skin. This is the only skin that I would say is good so far in this case. What do you reckon, chat? How's this skin looking? Pretty good. Not gonna lie, I like that skin. It's inoffensive. I think that's a good way of explaining it. I don't think anyone can be like, I don't think anyone's gonna say this skin is absolute trash. I don't think it's taken too many risks. It's just like a clean looking skin. You like it? Nice. Prefer the cassette? Yeah, so do I. I think it's alright. Mate, how are you going to have a case with an M249 and a Negev in the same case? This is garbage. Like, this is actually garbage. These are proper filler skins, Zipsy. Like, actually proper filler skins. Wow. Mac 10 button masher. I quite like this skin, to be fair. Reminds me of like old school Game Boys and, you know, old school systems. You got the magazine, looks almost like a battery. It's a nice concept. I do actually think this skin's pretty good, and it looks like it's very clean on factory new. So this is a cool looking one. If you got this and like the cassette, you got like those retro vibes. I actually do like this skin. And it's purple, so it's going to be relatively cheap. So I think this and the P250 have been the standouts. This is going to have some mental skins towards the end. Otherwise, this is going to be trash tier case. Desert Eagle, Trigger Discipline. I find the color schemes a bit weird. I find the color scheme here is a little bit odd. Like the pink with the black and the white and the blue. It just feels like a bit of a mess. I quite like the patterns on it. It does look clean. For a Deagle especially, Deagles typically have quite a lot of missing paint, especially on the barrel of the gun. It looks alright, but there's just better Deagles in the game as it stands. Like, I use the light rail Deagle. It's dirt cheap, and I think the light rail Deagle is far superior to this. What do you guys in chat think about this? I'm kind of curious. I could see a lot of people enjoying this, but for me, I just don't like the color scheme that much. Seems pretty divisive. Like, meh, you'd use it. Underwhelming. Yeah, it feels like it's pretty kind of down the middle. I think it's okay. It's not a bad skin by any stretch, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get this. Oh, we have an AK. Okay, please, be good. What the fuck is this? You already have a black laminate AK skin. And this is like black laminate, but just all black. Now, I will say a couple things about this, okay? One, depending on how it looks in game, it could shine like when the light catches it, it could look pretty cool in game. Another thing is I could see this being very, very clean for an AK. AKs typically have tons of missing paint here, around here, on the trigger, on the magazine. This looks like it is proper factory new. Like, actually, no scratches, no missing paint whatsoever at all. And one of the biggest issues I had with the black laminate skin is I didn't like that the the stock and the like barrel was laminated, and then the rest of it was just a bog standard AK-47. It always like felt weird to me. So actually, the more I look at this, it's growing on me a little bit. I still feel it's very, very plain though. But it could look decent in game, and with it being purple rarity, like the textures do look nice. Yeah, Katana, they do. But it is a bit on the dull side, isn't it? It's a bit on the dull side. But you know what? The being purple rarity, I think it's in a bit of a sweet spot where it'll be a budget AK that I think a lot of people will probably end up using. Do you know what? The more I look at it, the more I like it. My first reaction was it's terrible, like what the hell? And now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, do you know what? If I had like a budget loadout of skins, this would actually be pretty damn good. I like the patterns on it. This is one of the first times, I think, when I've done one of these videos that I initially thought a skin was shit, and now I actually think it's pretty good. So, for the rarity of the skin, simplicity of the skin, it's actually not bad. Not bad. I might even get one and see what it looks like in game. So, yeah, that's grown on me quite a bit. I wish there was just like a little bit of... Do you know what would have made this skin actually god tier? If it had some like purple stripes on it or something. Oh, it'd be so good. I also feel like this is the kind of skin that would probably... people that love stickers would probably use for skins like this, I reckon. On to the next one. MP9 Food Chain. Pfft, Jesus Christ, that's bright. What's even going on? It's like a squid and some like... This reminds me a bit of a Hyper Beast skin. This is so colourful. It's kind of like too colourful for me. I think it would be jarring and distracting in game. There's so much going on with it, like colour-wise. It's like... I don't know. Now we're getting into the pink rarity as well, so this is going to be more expensive. It pains me to say it, but I don't think this is a good skin. And the MP9 is actually one of my favourite weapons in the game. I use it a lot. But this is too much. Too many colours, too much going on. The detail is like impressive. There's a lot of work's gone into it, but not for me. What do you reckon, chat? Too crowded? Yeah, I agree with that. The Slate AK with gold stickers. Yeah, I think it could look good actually with stickers on. I think that's going to be one of those few times where I look at a skin and think it's trash, and then I actually go around and I end up really liking it. I think that AK is definitely growing on me the more I think about it. The MP9 isn't for me. XM. I don't really look at XM skins much because I don't use the gun, but I feel like there's already skins that look like this on the XM. I swear there is. I just feel like this is nothing. This is not memorable whatsoever. Why would you go out of your way to pick this skin up out of all the XM skins? Two that already looks like it? Yeah. I don't get it. This case has been disappointing so far, I've got to say. It's definitely, unless it gets mega saved by one of the late skins, then this is definitely going to be like fairly low tier, I would say. That's a pass. Galil. Chromatic Aberration. Isn't there a scout skin that looks like this, or it's like the same kind of style? And I said it would give me a headache. It's like 3D goggle type shit. There is, yeah. Not for me at all, this. Not for me at all. This would give me a headache. Even looking at it's like making my eyes fucky. So, nah, this ain't for me. I understand if people are into it. I see some of you in chat saying, yes, it's cool and stuff, but it's just not for me at all. Definitely not for me. And this is, yeah, this is a pink rarity, so this is going to cost a pretty penny. It does look very clean, at least. There's not a lot of missing paint on the skin, which is normally, like, you know, a good sign, but this is a personal preference thing. I don't particularly like it myself. USP The Traitor. This reminds me a lot of like the Empress. Like this pattern, especially on the edge of the gun, reminds me a lot of the Empress. And the color scheme, I wouldn't be surprised if it's from the same person. It's very, very detailed, very shiny. I just don't know if I necessarily like the theme of it that much. And it is, yeah, I'm not surprised. You can tell, like, it's very impressive. I don't want to say it's a bad skin by any stretch. It's just not really for me. I think another issue with it is that it's a red rarity, so this is going to cost a lot of money. This is going to be like kill confirmed status, you know? This is going to cost a lot. If this was like a pink or purple, I'd be like, yeah, this is damn good. But I have a feeling this is going to cost like an unbelievable amount of money, and it's not going to be worth it. For me personally, I could see a lot of people really liking this skin. It looks very, very clean for a USP. The USP typically has a lot of issues with missing paint. On the suppressor, on the top part as well, on this back part. This looks mega clean, actually. Super, super clean. Which is rare for a USP skin. So that's definitely something that works in its favor. And we got an M4. Jesus Christ, that looks like an absolute mess of colors. We got an M4 to round it off. Fucking hell. This ain't it, Chief. Again, I look at it. There's tons of detail. Okay. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of colors. If you're into this art style, I'd imagine it's probably not bad. But it's just not for me whatsoever. It just... There's way too much going on in this. And this is a hard pass. Even if I uncrated this, right? Even if someone gave me this skin, I wouldn't use it. You know what I mean? I'd be selling it straight away. Instantly. So this case, I've got to say, is one of the most disappointing cases that I have seen in a long time. I think in a tier list of cases, this is like D tier. This is definitely below average, I think. Because in most of the cases that I see, there's at least some like affordable, really good skins. Or the reds are so sick. The reds are so sick that it just elevates the case. I think this case is disappointing. You've got a Negev in here. You've got an M249. Who cares about those weapons? You got a Nova, an R8, a Glock that could be amazing, but I really doubt the animation is going to work for it. A USP that's very, very impressive in terms of the art. Again, I think the USP is very, very good. Like art-wise, detail-wise, it looks super, super clean to me. If it was cheaper, hell, I'd probably even use it. There's a lot going on here to like. It would actually fit with my my knife and gloves. It's a really good skin, but I think it's going to be too expensive for most people. And the M4 is just like a lot of effort has clearly gone into this skin. And I think for people that like this art style, they're going to be really into this. It's just not for me. I prefer normally darker colored skins and where there's less going on. I think the pick of the bunch, I think the best skin in the case is maybe the AK-47. And when I first opened it, I didn't think I'd feel that way. But I think in game this is going to look pretty sleek. I think if you put some stickers on it, it's going to look good. Stat tracker will look good. It's probably the pick of the bunch for me personally.